Forsaken Archer and, of course, the physical damage in general. But you're right. I mean, Forsaken Archer is dealing out a good amount of damage, and I keep popping back to the damage chart every now and then. Bubbles, Leon Black has continued to be on top of the chart, so he's been doing a fantastic job when it comes to that, when it comes to hero damage in general. But yeah, Forsaken Archer has been creeping up herself. Now at the top lane, a portal key away at the last second for Bubbles right there. The invisible Parasite was nearby with the Wild Hunter, but he portal keyed away. He felt something was up. I think it might have been because Torturer actually moved up a little bit, and he saw that. So he just played away. I don't even know if he realized how close he was to death, though. So good getaway in the end. And, you know, they're just going to buy more time for Forsaken Archer to continue to farm. And it's showing 410 gold per minute now for Slicks. This is a player that or a hero really early in this game that we talked. He was struggling. He really was. But he has definitely come back big time. And he's just delivered himself a Blessed Orb. So he's actually going to be finishing that Geometer Speed now in the near future.
Yeah, that's really, really good for him. I just love his items right now. You definitely saw him just tore the armor up from Lord Sulfuras, and he's going to be dishing out tons of damage to not just him, but Torture as well. So as long as he doesn't get CC'd or focused very, very early on, he needs to really be very careful about his positioning. Then he'll be fine. Of course, you do have Andromeda, who is that kind of fail-safe, who can be able to swap him out if they are in trouble. And that's good for them. I love Andromeda in this lineup. I think it's working out already very, very well from Erebus, even though he is only level 8. I was just going to say, I really hope that Swindlemelons picks up a portal key, and already he does pick it up. So now they have more than just the Polywog initiation.
Yeah, that's of course big. And man, 520 gold per minute. He just has been wrecking this game in farm, as we've been stressing all throughout. It's showing the Sheepstick first. He followed that up with the Shrunken Head, as you said right there, as you saw. Portal key just purchased. Also a Shrunken Head picked up on Polywog Priest right there. So that's definitely another good pickup, as you talked about. He's kind of the other initiator, but also having the Shrunken Head on top of that will be very powerful for him. Parasite is at level 1 Codex. I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to wait for him to pop out, unfortunately, before we can find out because of how the UI works right here. So he's going to just sit in the Wild Hunter for now, but anyways, it's at least a level 1 Codex. That's safe to say. And that's also a good amount of burst damage, of course, coming up for him. I still keep chuckling at the stat a little bit. 0-0-0 Lord Sulfuras. Still now 30 minutes into the game. But obviously the last fight he tried. Now they are going to go for another Congo attempt, and of course, this will be the second Congo kill. Now, there is one ward aside here from the Legion team. I don't know if they had actually spotted them going in here, though. So it might just be a suspicion thing coming out. Ophelia is over here with minions, but she's not going to send them in like last time. So this could be a sneak Congo kill coming out from Pikachu.
Yeah, definitely, and it's going to be strong. I mean, this is getting Hellborn right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think Pika has really any clue right now. They do have this one ward aside placed fairly recently by Moravis, but that doesn't show really anything as far as getting into that Congo pit. It is going to be a very easy Congo. Lord Sulfuras, he's going to be very, very close to that demonic breastplate. That's definitely going to help out the armor situation, or armor-piercing situation, I should say, coming out from Forsaken Archer. Did he pick up the token, or did Torture, actually?
Torture did, I believe.
Yeah, I actually think it's a much smarter pickup. Torture is the one really dishing out all the damage. Should be in the front lines with all her spells, especially now with that portal key and the Shrunken Head. Very, very good pickup, and they're just going to march mid right now.
Yeah, then I definitely like this move right here. You know, why not? They got the token of life, as you said, on Torture, looking good. Parasite, Polywog Priest are nearby. Polywog also has a haste rune botted up, which has about 30 seconds before it'll be used right there. So Lord Sulfuras is not with them just yet. He is going to be joining them now, though he's just a little bit behind. But he will be joining them, and here we go. Torture pressuring the melee racks. The Shell Surf coming out right there. Nothing really too much from it, though. And now Forsaken Archer joining the party. Forsaken Archer is level 16, so he has a level 3 ultimate. He also does have enough money for a buyback, I believe, as he has nearly 1,900 gold saved up here. So that's some good news there for our Legion team. Ooh, the piercing arrows used right there. Canceled immediately. Here we go with the Hellborn team. There's the Andromeda swap, though. Are we going to see a counter now coming up from the Legion side? There's the Parasite Facer on a Tempest. Actually, Tempest getting locked up. A nice heal coming up from Ophelia, as well as the Astral Life, keeping him alive. So far, everyone is still alive, as Lord Sulfuras did drop fairly low once again, and they're just going to drop the wards right here. So again, TT Esports baits them enough right there to stall the push, and they get them to fall back. So, man, they're delaying this very well.
The swaps from Moravis are really clutch right now. It's really, really turning the tide of these fights. And if this keeps going later, I really do think that Slicks is going to be able to power through with all the DPS. Yes, they are at a very large deficit, but you're right. It doesn't seem to be showing. They're able to hold off this push, which seems relatively easy. So yeah, just really good job, well played by the entire cast right here. TteS has yet to use the ultimate too in these engagements, and I feel like they're just waiting for that shrunken head. Now I did mention before, Parasite, very, very good counter against TteS. Well, just wait and see how that pans out once that shrunken head is completed on Vitalaba. But yeah, the defense that TT Esports is upholding seems to be, you know, a really good job from them.
Yeah. Torture nearly falling to Ancients right there. That would have been embarrassing to lose your token alive for that, but he stays alive. He did the math, and he's going to fall back to base to get some regen. He has 2,400 more gold saved up, so he does continue. It's not like it was a crazy initial performance and now it's falling off. He's staying at a 500-plus GPM mark now, 34 minutes into the game. That continues to be so impressive here for the Hellborn team, but it's also even needed, you could say. I mean, Lord Salforus, sure, he's kind of, obviously he's a different kind of carry. He's that carry that just builds really beefy, becomes so tanky, you know, like an Armadon, like a Zephyr or something like that, and just constantly dishes out damage while you're not really able to kill him. So he could eventually get to that stage. But yeah, as you were just kind of putting it right there, going to late game stage, I would be worried about this Forsaken Archer getting beefed up. 3,100 and 3,200 gold now saved up even. So she's on her way to her next big item. Do you have an idea in mind? I mean, what you would like to see?
For Forsaken Archer?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Torture may be in a little bit of trouble. Okay, he's going to fall back before, but yeah, Forsaken Archer.
I would suspect a Shrunken Head. She's actually got a very good damage output coming right now. If she's able to just pound in with the Shrunken Head activated and not have to worry about really anything else coming from that Hellborn squad, because really it's all magic damage.
Yeah.
That's also the problem Lord Salforus is. It's not like he scales in a later game. He's not really a right clicker. You know, not like something like a Forsaken Archer, not like your typical carries in Dark Lady or even Draconis for that matter. So yeah, she's going to win this battle very late game, but still, I mean, the numbers don't lie. They're down about 14k in gold, 15k in experience, so it just seems kind of silly how Hellborn, they can't really push into the base just yet. They're going to have to look for a pickoff. And it really comes down to these Andromeda swaps. Moravi's doing a good job on these Andromeda swaps, really keeping his team alive.
The Andromeda swaps and then just the teamfight presence, I think.
Exactly.
Having TteS, knowing, sure, he hasn't used an ultimate yet, but knowing that option is there is pretty scary with the portal key. Knowing that you have to deal with the Kelp field every single time is scary. Knowing that you have to deal with an Ophelia heal every time, you know, doesn't guarantee you one fight. So it's definitely there. Oh, nice swap right there on a player. Swapping him out of the Kelp field stun, actually, to make him be stunned. So that actually worked out. I don't even know if that was planned, but that worked out pretty damn well right there in favor of the Legion team. They get a pick, and now they're going to fall back as Polywire Priest is currently dead. So you see the Hellborn team, they are nearby, actually. Oh, they're going to catch Forsaken Archer. This is perfect here for Pikachu, actually. Forsaken Archer will fall. The Undying was used just before by Lord Salforus, so now he has a buff for the next 35 seconds here as far as his damage output, and Forsaken Archer cannot buy back. She just bought her Shrunken Head. This could be the game moment right here for Pikachu. If any, they are going to look to push, and I wonder if they realize. I mean, they probably saw the Shrunken Head and maybe figured that she just purchased it. So they, whether or not they know that she has a buyback or not, they are going to make a push here. And again, she absolutely does not. So this Rax is probably going to fall. I don't see this Legion team even fighting without Forsaken Archer. They just simply cannot do it. They do not have nearly enough damage output. So
yeah, they should know by now she hasn't bought out that she does not have a buyout.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, of course, the Shrunken Head being on her should be an indicator enough that she does not have enough gold for buyout. I feel like they could have just rushed bottom. I don't think they have the DPS at all without Forsaken Archer with any of those heroes to really take anybody down.
Yeah.
They are going to take the safer route, push this out. Forsaken Archer will be up in about 17 seconds. That'll be good for her. But meantime, Polywog is in the top. Of course, she died before that engagement. I actually saw the illusion doing some damage of Polywog Priest after she died. I was like, wait, did Polywog buy back? But no, it was just the illusion. But very, very successful turn of events there for Pika. I want to say turn of events because even though they were in the lead this whole time, it just seems like they weren't able to push into the base.
Well, yeah, exactly. That opened up that opportunity, and we saw right there. I mean, there's no way the Legion team has anywhere nearly enough damage output without Forsaken Archer. If she's dead, it's basically game over for them, at least in that skirmish. So yeah, that was absolutely huge for Pikachu. A great pursue on their part, and you do got to question a little bit what Slicks was doing hanging around as long as he did. It did seem like he was kind of, I don't know if maybe, I think it might have been the illusion which actually got him distracted a little bit there as far as why he was in the jungle in the first place, kind of scouting it out. But yeah, great portal keys in. I believe that was Parasite even. Or maybe it was Torture. But anyways, whoever it was, they jumped in. Obviously, I think it was Torture, actually, with the Sheepstick portal key. Got her in and eventually got her killed. So bottom tower push is not going to income, of course. So Forsaken Archer is alive, and she does have a shrunken head. So as long as she can use it, that's a good thing. We do see a swap in the Lord's Outburst. In the background, though, Torture jumps in, puts the Sheepstick on, but Bubbles will get storm spinning. You see the War Trap happening. TteS ultimate going off right there, but canceled immediately. Frostfield play going to be used by Torture, but Forsaken Archer is actually still well alive here, and she is dishing out so much damage on this Hellborn team. 3 kills coming out. We're going to possibly see a quad kill. Swinamel is not getting locked down. He does have the Frostfield play, so a little bit tankier with armor, but it's not going to matter. He eventually falls as Parasite actually takes out Ophelia, but he is deep in the Legion base now as Bubbles will portal key in. There's a Leech going to be used, giving him a speed burst. Shell Surf going to come out. There's a Song of the Sea. That tower damage maybe. No, don't port there. Why'd you port there? Okay, it doesn't matter, but still, that would have been sucky if that actually happened. But they get the kill. Genocide for TteS Esports. Shows you the power of the shrunken head there.
Yeah, I know. That was so scary. That was almost a very, very bad port coming out from Slicks. It prevented the tower from attacking, and actually the portal key would have been up for Parasite. By the way, great job by Seafree canceling that Tempest ultimate, using that portal key and that face hug to cancel it, regardless of the fact that actually, no, Tempest still doesn't have a shrunken head, but it doesn't matter. Even if he did, it would have been canceled. But yeah, man, Slicks dishing out so much auto attack damage right now, and they have to focus him down. They're having the aggressive swap come out from Andromeda. If they just go on the Forsaken Archer with knowing the fact that Z-Free can still cancel that Tempest ultimate, if they have that in the back of their mind, they can just aim this Forsaken Archer when they use an aggressive swap like that. So I'm surprised that that's not what they did.
Sorry about that. 25% hero damage done right now by Forsaken Archer. I mean,
God,
it has been rising so much. I keep, as I said earlier, I keep going back to it. It keeps going up, and now it's just quarter of the hero damage done in this game has been gone in Forsaken, and that's just, it's been increasing. That's a scary thing. It's not like that's been like there for a while now. It's been going up, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it even go further up. So yeah, no doubt, Slicks is just having one of those performances. I've talked about this before. You know, really stand-up performance in Honcast history I forget the exact game, but it was definitely a while ago where Slicks just made a comeback on Forsaken Archer that was just so memorable to watch and was a lot of fun to watch. And this is kind of reminding me of that style of game where he has definitely been a big part, of course, in not only keeping them in the game, but starting a very, very, very possible comeback opportunity here in favor of TteS Esports, and it really is showing. So, yeah, they're definitely in an okay spot. Again, not to get too far ahead, their middle is cleared out, so that is a crappy thing for them right now that they have to deal with that. The rack's being done in the middle lane, but it clearly is showing that Pikachu, they need to get a pick on Forsaken Archer to have a chance of pushing in, because if they don't, it's proven to be very difficult for them. I don't care how farm they get.
They could do it right now. She's showing herself in the top lane. She does have a Slayer showing.
Oh, no.
There's the initiation. The Andromeda swap is up, though, and there it goes. I'll let you take over, Breaky.
There we go. The swap from Andromeda will get picked off. Kelfield attempt. Yes, it is going to come out on a Torturer, but Bobble's in a little bit of trouble in the front gun. You see Lord South Force right there putting the nuke out, but here goes Forsaken Archer. She is going to be Storm Spirit. Has she used her Shrunken Head yet? No, she has not. Oh, she was ported back. Okay. The Storm Spirit port back combination. She did not use her Shrunken Head. That was actually very good patience right there from Forsaken Archer, trusting the teammates, did not waste a cooldown. And they are going to ultimately hold off the push. God, that was scary. But you said Moravis on Andromeda has just been on the spot for most of this game here, with being ready to swap when necessary, and that was definitely a necessary point right there.
That was a very unfortunate kill for TteS Esports' sake on Leon Black. He really kind of just ran up there, and then the face hug right on top of him, as well as all the burst damage, and he just died instantly. Also bought back. So they did force a good buyback out of Leon Black, so he's going to waste a lot of gold right there, and they're just going to smartly fall back. Kongor has a respawn. They're going to be able to take this. I'm not sure. No, there actually is not a single ward up. No, there is a ward up actually from Moravis in the bottom lane, right next to their tower, but that's it. So they have no idea, at least, that they're in Kongor. They might suspect it, but it's going to be hard for them to actually contest this.
Yeah, and remember, this Bananas will drop this time. This will be the third Kongor kill, so that'll make it even that much more powerful at this point of the game. Now 42 minutes in here, and I am curious. I probably would expect to see Torch to be the one to pick up the Token of Life, but we'll see who they ultimately give it to. It is easily going to fall. Yeah, the Legion team, as you said. I mean, maybe they have an idea, but there's no certainty in would they even be able to. Bananas picked up by South Forest, Token of Life on Torture. Torture also has another 2,600 gold saved up. I mean, his GPM has even risen since we talked about it last. 526 gold per minute. So again, Swindelmelons on Torturer. He really is doing a lot for his team right now as far as being in the lead even. But it is torture in the end. You know, this isn't a hard carry compared to the Forsaken Archer. So as impressive as that is, you know, Forsaken Archer in his farm is still the better sign. But as we keep going back to it, and there have been several instances, especially the one where they push the middle lane, they can get a pick. They can definitely, by all means, win these fights. So that's really the name of the game here. And this is really going to make it come down to a pretty crazy finish, I think it's safe to say, as far as what's going to happen in this game. And that's probably a smart choice there from Torture. He actually upgrades his boost to post-haste, and he will port to the top lane, actually, where he'll push it back a little bit as a result. So, yeah, at this point in the game, picking up post-haste definitely makes sense here. Yeah,
definitely. And one thing I wanted to comment, too, is just TteS has really kind of been a non-factor this game. Is not entirely his fault, but, he's 0-4-1 right now, and it's almost impossible for him to cast an ultimate. In order to do that, he's going to have to wait till he gets his Shrunken Head, and even then, it can still be canceled by the blink face hug by Z-Freak, and he's been on point this entire game. So it's really hard for TteS to have any kind of impact in these team fights, and basically he kind of has to cross his fingers and hope that Z-Freak jumps someone else so that he can go in. But even if he does go in without that Shrunken Head available, there are still many, many different ways to cancel that ultimate.
Yeah.
So, and actually, Savage Mace now picked up on Slicks. No buyout. He's all in right now at this point.
That is crazy. He still has 2 buyouts, but as you said with that purchase, not enough gold for it right now. And it's possible we could have a team fight approaching in these next 30 seconds or so. You see both the bottom and the top lanes are being pushed in quite a bit right here. Of course, the majority of the heroes for the Hellborn side and Pikachu, they are at the bottom side. The only one up top is Swindlemounts with that post-haste, though, so he could easily port to the bottom lane and be fine. You see him playing a little bit passive, though. He knows that he is by himself, and the last thing he wants is to get caught out right here and get killed. So he's playing very passive, but I assume he's going to eventually port to this bottom lane. Maybe not, actually. They're not going to commit to anything, it looks like, for now at least, but we'll keep an eye on that, see if it eventually happens. But, yeah, Forsaken Archer will not have a buyback for a while. I mean, especially if he's forced to kind of sit and play defense here, he'll occasionally get a couple hundred gold from the creep wave, but he needs, I think at this point, he needs to be safe at least 2K at this point to feel comfortable about buying back. And
if
of course, he's still way,
exactly.
If even. He's level 22. We're 45 minutes in, so you know it's got to be up. Then again, you have to factor in that the death will take away some gold. So. Yeah, at least 2,000, if not that. We see him jump here in the middle lane, though. The swap coming out from Andromeda to save Slicks for now. Once again, going to save him. The Andromeda, or Ophelia heal is going to come out. But there's Bubbles yet again, getting absolutely demolished. Big part of that because of Parasite with that Codex and face up combination. And he cannot buy back. So it is now officially a 4 versus 5 fight here in favor of Pikachu. That's perhaps the pick they were looking for. Of course, Forsaken Archer is so well alive, though. And he will dish out a lot of damage, so they still need to be careful about that. Lord Self-Force, he's got bananas. He's Lord Self-Force. He is tanky as balls. We see the jump in the background. TteS going to get caught over here. There's the Storm Spirit on Forsaken Archer. Trying to keep him alive. He's going to be ported back by Ophelia right there. Andromeda will be picked off. Here we go. Piercing Arrow is going to tear through Torturer. But again, the Token of Life will resurrect him. So for now, it's just Ophelia and Forsaken Archer. Don't think that's going to be enough to hold this off. We're probably going to lose the Rex right here unless something remarkable happens. No one can buy back that's dead. Bubbles will be up in 20 seconds. There goes the Melee Rex. Torture will jump in on a Forsaken Archer, actually. There's the chain reactions. No Sheepstick just yet. And actually, Forsaken Archer will once again, I believe, be ported back to base. So the racks are destroyed. It's now just the top remaining. Are they going to go for it or will they fall back? It's going to be interesting because the resurrections are starting to happen. It looks like they're going to start falling back here.
Yeah, look, Riser's been on point this whole game with those Storm Spirit ports. It's been really fun to watch and saved Slick's life a number of times. But they really started with the pick-off on Leon Black in the mid. They initiated onto Forsaken Archer, but I think she was fine, especially with having that swap ability as a fail-safe from Moravis. But Leon Black, that was just, again, he could not have died. Book is actually asking, what is his damage?
5%. It's not been too impressive. It's been like 2 and 3%. He has risen a little bit as a result of the last fight, but yeah, it's still obviously very, very low. So obviously he's even making a joke about how ineffective it seems like he's been. But honestly, at this point, I mean, again, he's not a hero that's going to be dishing out crazy damage. He's a hero that's going to be that intimidating presence.
He's the hero that Han deserves.
He's the hero that Han deserves. You knew where I was going with that. So yeah, he's definitely still has played a factor despite the lack of damage output. But so okay, with the middle racks being down, I was still like, TT Esports, there's definitely still a chance here, especially with the damage output of Forsaken Archer. Now with the bottom also being down, the chances definitely go down quite a bit. So yeah. Pikachu is in a pretty comfortable lead here, but it ain't over. It definitely is not 100% over by any means, but It is a comfortable lead here for Pikachu now.
They just can't get picked off before the fight actually begins. I feel like they're really going to have to start the jump, or if anything, have Forsaken Archer sit back and wait for the jump to happen on them and draw them to swap them out. And then force, what they have to do is, they started it actually right there, the face hug onto Bubbles there, but you know it didn't prove, it proved to be successful for Team Pika. Obviously, starting the fight, like you said, 4v5 with Leon Black being killed makes it a lot easier. White tried to do something right there, but again, he's not able to set up really anything at all in these fights. I mean, he's 0-5-1. He's just really has not been able to contribute anything to this game, and he just doesn't have the items for it. Even, like I said, even with that shrunken head, it can still be canceled. So, yeah, it's just a very unfortunate game for them. It's going to be a huge uphill battle for TteS Esports, now at a 24,000 gold deficit, as well as a 25,000 experience deficit. They're going to need a lot here.
Need absolutely a lot. A little bit of lady luck on their side, that's for sure. So, Souls Bulwark just purchased an affiliate, and as you said, that Shrunken Head will be purchased here in a matter of seconds now for TteS. So, at least they'll have that, but also, as you're referring to constantly, Parasite can still take care of him, even with that Shrunken Head, but at least it does limit the options and choices coming out from Pikachu. Torture has 5,900 gold saved up. He has double buyback save up at this point. If he needs it. Of course, Token of Life was used last fight. Bananas are still on Draconis, by the way, so he still has that to use. And again, Torture, the farm, it just keeps on increasing. 555 gold per minute now, as well as 641 experience per minute. He has just been dominating this game for Pikachu, as he's just wrecking up the creep. By the way, I love we didn't talk too much about it, but the Frostfield play pickup. I mean, I think that made so much sense. It's obviously just a great hero in general and a lot of intelligence heroes, but on top of the fact that you're dealing against a mass physical damage Forsaken Archer,
with Andromeda
helps. With Andromeda, yeah.
Yeah, the boost to the armor as well as the negative aura onto your attack speed is definitely going to help out. I mean, that's 25 attack speed. Yeah. It's a decent amount of attack speed, and people don't really realize that. But yeah, nonetheless, it's a very, very good pickup. He's had it for quite some time. As far as things that he could pick up right now, I think just things to beef him up, honestly. I think he's got the CC, he's got the damage. I think he just needs to beef up a little bit, because despite the fact that he does have a Shrunken Head and a Frostwolf Skull, or sorry, not a Frostwolf Skull, but a Frostfield Plate, Forsaken Archer is still pumping out a lot of damage. So I think things just make him a little bit more beefy. Even maybe a Behemoth's Heart would be actually appropriate on him.
Ooh, yeah, that could be a very interesting... Behemoth's Heart before their rework could have been really interesting, reducing the cooldowns too.
Yeah.
But nope, not anymore. It's been a long time now, actually. But oh, nostalgia.
And then for agility, I think it was what, plus 10% damage.
It was plus 10% damage, yeah, something like that. Intelligence was reduced cooldowns, and strength was what it is now, I believe. Just a crazy regeneration. We do see a jump right here for Polywog Priest actually catching Forsaken Archer. The War Trap goes down, but the swap for Andromeda yet again. And now Forsaken Archer just going to tear up Polywog Priest. Here we go with initiation. The TteS ultimate is locking down Lord South Forest, but where is Forsaken Archer? He's still just holding his ground, tricking his aggregate. And look at Swinamouth falling. This is going to be a one fight. It looks like maybe the hat-trick coming out for Slicks, but now he's in a little bit of trouble. Lord South Forest will use Bananas, and he takes out Slicks right there. Slicks does have one buyback. He uses it right there. Look at the base in the meantime. The tower is taking a little bit of damage here at the Shrine, so they also need to keep that in mind. Of course, Torture did buy back as well. He catches TteS here in the jungle with the assistance of teammates, and down they go. So a couple of buybacks there are used, it looks like, as at least Forsaken Archer, and I think even Polywog Priest as well as Torturer. Bought back right there. In fact, here we go. Torturer jumping on a Forsaken Archer, and Forsaken Archer will just be ported back like every single time this fight. So we do see the tower is going to start falling, though. And invulnerability is going to be used, so a big push right here for Pikachu. Will the Legion team, will TteS Esports have enough to stop this? In the end, it's going to be so close, it looks like. Andromeda with a swap, actually, but the portal key away from Swinamelons right away. Made that pretty useless.
Oh, wow.
And nice chain reactions right there. As soon as he split up, he's going to be pointed not in time, though, says Torture. That should be the GG well played. He cannot buy back. And it is official, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to a third and final game as a result of Pikachu, specifically Swinamelons, just playing out of their mind here. What a game in their favor. Very, very deserving. And like I said going into this series, I mean, Pikachu, yes, they are having some roster issues, but they are a talented team, and definitely a team that can compete with TteS Esports. And they showed how right there, so very, very well played on their part.
Swinamelons definitely deserves the MVP, no question, that game. I mean, he really did play fantastically. His item pickups were sound. He actually even had a Doombringer there at the end. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, he did have a Doombringer. And as well as TPS Priceless on Aluna was able to pick up his Shield Breaker. Yeah. So good picking up.
No big deal.
Yeah, but Riser, again, despite the fact that they lost that game, I still got to give on his team a big MVP. Being able to have some clutch, I got to say, though, the combination of the port back with the Storm Spirit is pretty powerful on Ophelia. But that was very, very clutch. But again, it was just simply, I felt like TteS had no place in that lineup. It just wasn't able to do anything. At the very end, we finally saw him use the newly purchased Shrunken Head. It took him 52 minutes, but he was able to get it. And he blinked in, he ulted one person, and I think it was an already Shrunken Head Lord Self-First. And it got canceled immediately, so it did literally nothing.
You know, you were addressing Riser on Ophelia, and obviously we were even joking a little bit about the end there, how funny that was. But at the same time, it does show you a little bit of how built that lineup was for TteS Esports around Forsaken Archer.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't only Ophelia. It was Andromeda constantly swapping whenever she could. And so that's kind of all your eggs in one basket was really the case here for TteS Esports. They put everything in a Forsaken Archer that she would be enough to carry them to victory. And, yes, that could work, but in the end, you know, Pikachu, of course, being a smart team themselves, they were very aware of that from earlier on, and they were focusing Forsaken Archer every single fight. Even if they didn't get kills, they were forcing her to be ported back. They were forcing her to fall back and not put out damage. So, yes, there were some fights. Of course, she was able to get some damage output as we talked about, but in the end, I think that was definitely the biggest problem there for TteS Esports, putting so much, investing so much into having the success of Forsaken Archer that, in the end, didn't pay off, obviously. So. What a game, man. We are going to a game number 3, though, so sit tight. It should be a quick break here, and we're going to have game number 3 between Pikachu and TteS Esports coming at you. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.